immerse in the language as much as possible. Make it a habit, make it a part of your lifestyle. Creating something is a totally different mindset. You learn how to express your thoughts, ideas, beliefs, your feelings. Speaking and reading are almost entirely different skills. You can read a lot of books, expand your passive vocabulary, but still struggle to use them in conversations and to speak easily. I remember the time when I relatively quickly reached an intermediate level in English, then moved up to upper intermediate level, but then for several years I stuck at that level, not knowing how to progress to advanced level, what to do and how to eventually become fluent in English. No matter what I tried, like reading more books, writing down new vocabulary, attending English-speaking events, nothing really helped. I felt it was like a curse of being on this level, upper intermediate level. But luckily, when I was working as a videographer for about 8 years, some of my main clients were language schools. And I was exposed to modern techniques, to the best techniques, how to learn new languages. And I want to share with you what I've learned during all those years and this practical advice that I got from these schools and how I improved my English in an easy and natural way to this advanced level. I've broken it down into a simple 3-step structure to make it easier for you to follow and grasp the key ideas. First step is prioritize. Ask yourself, why do you need this language? This will help you determine what exact skills do you need and to focus on them without wasting your time on unnecessary areas. Let's separate language skills into 2 major groups: reading and writing together, speaking and listening together. It's important to understand early on that these 2 groups of skills are processed differently in our brains. Reading is more connected to writing. Listening is more connected to speaking. This means that speaking and reading are almost entirely different skills. You can read a lot of books, expand your passive vocabulary, but still struggle to use them in conversations and to speak easily. And by the way, this is one of the reasons why it is advised not to use subtitles or captions when you are watching movies, because we tend to rely on the text, on the subtitles, and it's like reading a book rather than watching a movie. When we are reading subtitles, we like turn off our auditory process, auditory system of getting information. And if your main goal is to speak fluently, then you need to improve your auditory processing. In most schools in my city where I grew up, they had a grammar translation method. This approach is designed just for reading and translating books. But other skills like speaking and listening were seen as unnecessary. Can you guess the result? People could learn English or another language for 10 years at school, but still could not use it in conversations. The same thing happened to me. Mostly I read books in English, and it didn't help me to get any progress, except for the progress in deteriorating my eyesight. Once I realized this, I focused on speaking and listening skills. I began looking for native English speakers, for teachers and schools who focused more on speaking, on another approach that was situational conversation approach in learning languages. So think about why you need this language and which skills are your primary goals. If you want to learn several languages, you can prioritize the skills in each of these languages, depending on your needs with a particular language. Second step is consume. Once you've identified which skills you need the most, find the appropriate resources in this language. For example, if you need reading and writing skills, you can focus more on articles, books. If you need listening skills, you can watch movies, YouTube channels, you can explore podcasts, audiobooks. If your goal is speaking and participating in conversations, you can find a local speaking club and engage with expat communities. In other words, immerse in the language as much as possible. Consume everything like a sponge. In this phase, you don't need to be very proactive. It's a very passive way to enrich your brains with new words, new patterns and vocabulary. And here is the key point. Try to find topics that are interesting to you. It is something that would be interesting for you in your native language as well. This way, language learning becomes a very natural process, like for babies learning their first language. And here's what worked for me. I found an expat community and became a volunteer there. I founded and led English speaking club. I started watching movies, English channels in English, also listening to audiobooks in English almost every day. Step 3. Create or reproduce. Now it's time to create something, and depending on your priorities, you can start writing your own posts, articles, books, poems, songs, or you can create videos in English. You can give public speeches at local events, or you can participate in open mics with your poems, songs, or speeches. Creating something is a totally different mindset. You learn how to express your thoughts, ideas, beliefs, your feelings, your emotions, your life experiences, which are essential components of conversations and communication. Here is how I started creating in English. I began writing my own poems, songs, and participating with them in open mics. Also, I took part in a local writers' workshop and began writing my first book in English. Recently, I gave a big lecture, a public speech in English. And finally, as you're watching now, I switched from my native language to English for this YouTube channel. And why is this approach so useful for language learning? For example, when I create these videos for YouTube, first I write a draft, then I edit it with an AI, I rehearse it, record the video, I edit the video, then I watch the final result and publish it. This creative process allows me to encounter the same phrases multiple times. Of course, I learn new words and I improve my writing and speaking skills. And this comes naturally. The key point here is that I don't view these activities as a formal English lesson. I'm improving my language skills naturally as I'm working on my projects. And that's the main point, that you can create a learning approach where you do what you love. You engage with people in communities and activities that interest you. And the improvement of your language skills comes like a bonus. It becomes a natural part of your lifestyle. On the other hand, if you follow the traditional view that learning languages is a hard work and that you are obligated to attend classes, to do homework, then your enthusiasm, your willpower eventually run out. And when you use a language in a short term, it is not as effective as when you make it as your habit, as a part of your daily life. And here are additional bonus tips. First, I want to emphasize again, make it a habit. Make it a part of your lifestyle. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Build your confidence with practice. The more you practice, the easier and more natural it becomes. And it is better to use this language a lot with mistakes than not to use it at all. Second tip, surround yourself with this language. Place yourself in a suitable environment. For example, for this very purpose, I created an English-speaking club in my local community. If you can travel or relocate, move to another country, that would be perfect. But it is not necessary, because I met a lot of people in New York City who moved there over 10 years ago and didn't improve their English at all because they stuck in their national community. And at the same time, in your city, you can find any necessary resources in this language using internet or finding like-minded communities in your city. Next tip. Here's a very effective technique. It is called echoing or shadowing. You can find short pieces of videos or audios. It can be from 30 seconds to several minutes long. It can be YouTube shorts. It can be fragments from your favorite movies or podcasts. The idea is that you repeat what the speaker is saying. For example, you hear the word or a phrase and you immediately repeat the same. Even if you don't understand all the words, you can try to guess these words and repeat it, and practice the same fragment several times in a row. It may take 5 to 10 minutes. You can do it once or twice a day for 2 weeks period. In the first week, don't use subtitles. Just try to rely on your auditory processing. And after the first week, you can look at the subtitles to find the words that was hard to identify. Then again, the second week, practice without subtitles. At the end of this period of 2 weeks, you can record a video with you speaking simultaneously with the speaker. After that, you can pick another fragment and practice, and so on. When I practice this technique a lot, I usually chose fragments from motivational speeches from my favorite public speakers or actors, or I found short fragments from podcasts and YouTube videos on topics that were interesting for me. And final tip, find what interests you. This way it's no longer learning a language, but a natural process of engaging with things you love. That's what will keep you motivated forever. So my final thoughts, learning languages is a journey. By making it a natural part of your life, you will notice that the improvement of your language skills comes naturally and almost effortlessly. Good luck with your language learning, and you can check out my next videos.
Growing up, we were taught that everyone has strengths and weaknesses, and that we should strengthen and emphasize our strong qualities, meanwhile improving or hiding our weak ones.